Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to How It's Designed, where we do beginner to expert SolidWorks tutorials and share some of the coolest designs out there. In this tutorial, we're going to do a very basic, fully defined sketch tutorial for beginners, just to learn the ropes on some of the sketching basics. So let's do a quick example of a pretty simple sketch inspired by the Lego Man example we did. So if we open the let's see here. So if we take this part here and we look at the shape of the head for the revolve, we're gonna just sketch a outline to set us up for this revolved head shape for the Lego Man. So let's see what that would look like. So when you're starting a sketch for beginners, you're going to first choose any plane to work off of. We're going to select the front plane. Now, first thing we're going to do is do a center line from the origin using the line tool. I'm going to hit OK and give it a smart dimension to define it. We'll do about 0.5 inches. OK. Now we're going to start sketching the outline. What we can do now is we can do a corner rectangle for that top of the head shape. So we can first just draw one out like that. And then now we can use the line tool to then start sketching the head profile, something like this. Alright, so we've got the general profile. We still need to give it some dimensions and constraints. So let's give it a overall dimension of about 3/8 by selecting the top and bottom line. Let's move this down some. There we go. Now we can start getting into more detail with the overall shape. You can see that we're going to need to add some line fillets for the corners around here. So if we open this, we need to add some line fillets here. We need to add a dimension for how wide it's going to be, and it's going to be a little bit taller, this step here on top, than the step on the bottom. And it looks like the bottom rectangle is coming out a little more than the top. So let's try and do that. So let's bring this in a little bit. So we're editing the sketch. Bring this in. Bring this in. So we can start moving these lines a little bit like that. let's go ahead and add the line fillet. So we click on 2 lines that make a corner, and it'll just add that fillet. We can make it a little bit bigger. Now we can do the same thing for this corner here. Make them equal. Now let's hit OK. Let's get out of the sketch mode and see what this looks like. So we click on the profiles. It'll show us a preview. It still looks a little wide, so we'll go back in, edit this, make it normal. This button right here will project the sketch flat normal so that you can see it better when you're in the active sketch. It'll project it normal to that plane. So let's bring this in a little bit. Bring this line in a little bit. Notice how I can move the line because I haven't constrained it yet. Bring this in a little bit. See what that looks like. That looks a little better. Maybe bring it in just a little bit more. There, that looks better. We can even make these steps at the bottom and top, these rectangles, a little bit shallower. So we can drag this up a little bit. Drag this down a little bit. And once we're happy with it, we can then start giving it some final dimensions. So let's go ahead and do our smart dimension tool. We have the overall length. Now we can give it a width. So you see that once we start placing dimensions, the sketch will turn from blue to black lines, and the black means that it's fully defined. And you'll see down here, it still says underdefined for the sketch, so we still have to make the whole thing black. You can see when we highlight a line, it'll show these constraints for us. That'll be a separate video of messing around with some basic sketch constraints. But for now, we'll just go ahead and keep placing dimensions to make it fully defined. And we've got a fully defined sketch. So we'll get out of that. And there it is. Thanks guys for watching this quick basic tutorial on fully defined sketches. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel, How It's Designed in Solidworks. And be sure to visit my website, howitsdesigned.com, for more content and other cool stuff. And we'll see you in the next video.